Let's go to the basic function buttons, F10, F11.
The basic functions, we have the program information. So if you just imagine you loaded a program from the memory, there is information in your manual. Now with pressing F11, function key 11, you're accessing the information in the software. You see the same information like in the manual. You see the pictures, where to place the applicators, and
this is such a nifty thing, which I forgot is the purpose. One more thing is that the software acts almost like an online manual. No need to fiddle around with paper. You have all the information with the organ correlation, the program names, you've got the microorganism names, you have the name of the nutritional point, and you have the placement of where to place the applicators for Module 4, but we always say you must follow that recommendation of the applicator placement. And you also have, for every program, as you have in your manuals, not all American customers have received a manual that shows all of that. The intensive course manual has that. It's the international manual due to the, well, I think yes, it's the research manual. In the research manual you will find it. But you don't have to use the manual. If you have your visualization software, all of that information, by pushing F11, you see where you need to place the applicator according to the standard use of the program, and it'll show you in pictures of where to place the handheld applicator, neck applicator, matrix applicator. Ideally, you go by what you find according to the pulse reaction. But to explain the buttons, here we are in just explaining to you what's available in the visualization software. F10, is that also a button?
F10 is also a button, of course, but it's not in use for you. It's a frequency editor, and this is a function which I don't recommend to you because it's too complicated.
Okay,
it's not complicated in a sense to use it, but not for you practically.
So F11 is the only function button that people have to remember?
No, also F12, of course. F12 is the record button. So you press the F12, look at the screen, you may be drawn to the file button, but file is not the record keeping, I have to say. Sometimes people are mixing this up. File means something else. Either you just go straight to the F12 button, or you go to Tools and Record, it's the same, and there you then have the whole menu of functions for record keeping.
So when you go on to F12, for example, or Tools and Record, pops up a new window with a blank sheet on the left side, and on the right side it's like divided into two pages where you have many options of where to draw reaction areas found on the patient by taking, you drag down one of the icons up on the top, a larger area, a smaller area, the main focus, and you highlight that depending on what you have just found. Of course, you've already gone through Module 1 or Module 2, and you have been able to, every time you store with the green Enter button, you then actually create a record on the left page, on the blank page. All the information is recorded. The number, which means frequency or program, will be shown plus the related text. And then at the end of when you've done your scan, you can then draw up your schematics, and you can also underneath that large picture you can write down text such as a patient has pain in right shoulder. Maybe the right shoulder didn't show up, but you want to make sure you make a note of it. Patient has pain in right shoulder, and all the other areas showed up. Then you turn it around, you go on to the back of the picture, and you mark up the back.
You have options besides a screen. You have different other screens you can add. You can put your marks on them to show where the reaction areas are, where the main focus is for treatment. And of course you can also, below you can write some text which is maybe necessary to explain.
And then sometimes people have a problem that they don't see it because it's kind of hidden. Because when you go onto the back, now you can't. Sometimes people don't find where's the front now. So can you explain up on the left side above the large picture? What is that called?
Yeah, you have labels, so you can add more than one label, of course, but you have to enter something in. If the label is empty and you choose another label, then the label gets replaced. If I mark something on the first label, let's say the front side of the patient, and I add another screen, then I have two screens both to put in reaction areas. And then I can switch back and forth, of course.
And the switching back and forth, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
Because people then look on they want to click on those pictures on the column, but you need to go back onto above the picture.
Yeah, the labels on top,
Above the big picture.
Yeah.
And then all the information is just being recorded automatically. So you know how to mark up that record for your patient to indicate where you found reaction areas and also where you found your main focus, plus maybe possibly putting some text underneath. So you don't have to write anything down anymore with your pencil. You can just use your software to do so. On the left side, let's assume we're in Module 1. You want to go to Module 1?
One moment, of course, you have the option to switch on and off the auto record, it's called. So if you don't use it, of course, you keep it switched off. So
why would people not use it? If they don't want to keep a record?
Keep record, of course.
But they want to use it for visualization.
Yeah.
So they notice their manual, they see the information in front of them, and the purpose is to enhance the biofeedback, to enhance the treatment by the patient watching the colors, seeing the visualizing of what's happening, but you don't necessarily have to record and print.
No,
it's not necessary.
You don't. So you can just in that manual you can switch on record keeping and you can switch it off, and then it stays until you change it again.
But you need to push keep record on in order for it to record?
Yes, of course. And on the left bottom it says protocol on or off, or record on or record off.
That is on the left.
Yeah, and
area.
It also shows
it. Area.
It also shows it on the main screen.
On the right side on the right bottom side, it shows record on. It has to say record on, record on,
yeah.
Or it is now recording. That would be a shame if you're not recording.
Okay.